Monday, August 23rd. My car is parked over there. Some kind of a kids' soccer team or something. Jogging back and forth. Low tide is going to be shortly. You can see to the left of that freighter there's a marker, black on the bottom, red and white on top. And someone took their boat in on the wrong side of the marker, and their sailing boat is on its side, stuck on the sand. I've seen that once before. Poor dope. Should not have done that. Oh well. He'll have to wait for the tide to come in and then he can sail off. Probably no damage done because they didn't run aground hard. Anyways, I'm gonna hike not just to that one, but there's another marker you can't see off to the left, behind the trees. And that's gonna be my hike today. So you come off the sand, a little bit gravelly there, and then you go through a little bit of mud before you hit the sand. It's not too bad. There you go. And now it's silty sand. Quite a ways out, way over there, you can see the lifeguard's boat. With some kids there, the flags are up on the beach there. If you're gonna swim with lifeguard support, you're between those two. He's toast. He got in too shallow of the water. So that marker there marks the start of the dog-friendly part of the beach. You're allowed to have your dogs there and off leash if they behave. And there's another yellow marker flag for swimming with the lifeguard manning it. There's little markers in the water that say drop off beyond this point. I'll try and get a picture of one of them. You can see the freighters out there and the boat on its side. We'll get a better picture up close because I'm going to walk past it. Heron there. And a paddle boarder. So they have these floats attached to a brick so it doesn't drift away, saying danger, sharp drop off. So people are wading knee deep through the water. Just a warning that out here it gets deep. Conversely, if you're in a boat and you see the marker off in the distance, you can see the container ship going past. That's your indication not to come this side of it. The guy in the sailboat did not do so, so he's got a problem. There's these little rivulets where the groundwater comes out and turns into a little creek. And on a warmer day than this, you see a ton of children playing in it. And further up they get a little wider and you get some pools and the kids go skimboarding on them. Might already be some of those, I don't see any. No, it's warming up now, but a little on the cool side for people still. There it is, called Lady Slipper. Because of the keel, it tilts on its side pretty hard. And we're on the dog beach. So people's dogs are running about freely. So I started way back there. Almost to the far left of the sand before you get to the boat club. And I walked this way. You can see lots of flats, they're huge. And there's a large crab, just to give you a sense. That's how big he is. Last time I was here, some fisherman had left his crab trap too high up. The seagulls had got into it. There's like 50 crabs all over the beach, all hacked to pieces by the seagulls. Anyways, I'm gonna walk to the marker, take a picture of myself going out. I think I can actually tap it in knee-deep water. So we'll see that in a bit. Might be too deep. I'm seeing that person there. They're going thigh deep, so I may skip. Last time I was here, I was knee deep touching that marker. There's a little bit of a sandbar here, so it goes from chin deep to ankle deep. The boat's going past. It definitely drops off after the marker. You can see the other marker in the distance that I'm going to walk to. Good grief, is there another boat stranded? There might be. It's not moving. Not good. A couple of herons on the shallows. Do I wear my swimsuit out here? You wind up in sometimes knee deep, sometimes thigh deep water. Right now it's high ankle deep. There, you can see where the waves are breaking. That's the shallow part. You just wander through that and it doesn't get too deep. If you stray off it a bit, you find yourself thigh deep. These are kelp beds here. And every few steps you kind of sink into them. The sand is soft. There's all the dogs running around the dog beach. That's definitely another boat. Stuck on the sand. 2 in one day. That's unusual. I've seen one before, once. So today we get 2. It's a 2-for-1 deal. There it is, it's the 2-for-1 show. This guy's high and dry. The other one was at least in a little bit of water, but good news for both as the tide is coming in. So the sandbar peters out here. You can see some waves out there. I'd have to swim to get to that marker. So I'll go a little bit further, but not too much. So turning, there's the point. Up on the hill there is UBC, those buildings. Around that point is Wreck Beach. Beyond that, you get the mouth of the Fraser and the Sea Island, the airport. Beyond that, you get the ferry terminals. Sometimes you'll see a ferry sailing around here. And there is a marker, channel marker. There's the Sunshine Coast. Our shore you can see right about there. There's a lighthouse. It's Lighthouse Park. Swing over. We have Amble's side is over that way where you can see all the buildings. That's where it would be. The empty freighters waiting to go in and get a load before they head back out. The sandbar that I walked out on, way off in the distance. Oh, and the boat that's stranded. He's actually stranded way higher than the other one. But he doesn't have as big of a keel, so he's not tilted as hard. And way off in the distance is where I came from. And there's a heron. This is actually, looks like a big body of water. You'd think it would be deep. It's quite shallow. I could walk across that for the most part. That marker, I think, is neck deep if you get out to it. You can see the cresting waves. That's the sandbar. On a lower tide, I get out to the end of those. I'm not going to go too much further. But this is my hike I like to do. It takes me about an hour and a half when I'm really going briskly. I've been pausing to take pictures, so it might be a little bit longer. And it's not a super warm day, but it's still gorgeous out here. One more thing, I don't know if you can see, but right out there, there's kind of a white line where the waves are cresting. That's where the drop-off is. When you go past that, it goes deep fast. If you're this side of it, it's starting to get shallow, so the waves are cresting a little bit. So the concept is you stay clear of the marker. You don't cut it as fine as you can, unless you have a paddle board or a canoe, or even a little cruiser like that you'd be asking for. There are a few logs here. You can see a stump floating there, and there's a log further on. And a dog. You might hit a dog, you never know. All things are possible. You can see the tide actually going in here. And it just keeps creeping and creeping and creeping and going higher and higher. It's actually visible. I'm almost back. I am back. I'm on shore. My car, I'm actually facing the car. Behind me is where I came from, actually down that way. Way down, you can't even see it. It's past the trees up there. So there you go. This is Locarno Beach. Hiking to the 2 markers. If you ever decide to do that, give yourself a reasonable amount of time. I walk very quickly. When I do it quickly, it's an hour and a half. You got kids, make it more like 2 hours, maybe 2.5. Leave 45 minutes to an hour before the low tide. Make sure you pick a good low tide. Go to Vancouver Tides and Times chart and find a day when there's a good, really low tide in the middle of the day, and time it for that. And enjoy. I find it a very enjoyable, relaxing way to spend a day. Signing out.